The antenna on this Hyundai Kona got taken out by a piece of cargo on the roof rack. So today I'm going to try to replace it. Looks like the top cover got snapped off. You can see it's screwed in up there, but just kind of snapped off along with the mast. The radio, satellite, AM and FM still work, but we need to get that covered up. I noticed the reception kind of isn't as good, so unfortunately Hyundai does not just sell the cover, so we'll have to replace the whole thing. In order to access the antenna assembly, we'll have to pull off this door seal and remove these 3 clips there. All 3 of them broke when I removed, so just have to replace them. And kind of bending this trim, the antenna assembly is right up there. So we've got the assembly out. This model has no navigation, but it does have satellite, so it's got this 3-wire, whatever that is, for the radio. It's a part number. Took a little bit to get it out with the weird shape. Try not to scratch the paint like I did. The other side is this, about 19 millimeters. I just used an open-ended wrench and loosened it, and the rest of it was unthreaded by hand. After my antenna broke, I looked around online to see what some of the options were. So on eBay, this was the most common option. All it is a plastic cover with some 3M tape to adhere to the body. And so although it's very cheap, that's all it does, is it just covers the antenna. It doesn't help with the lost reception because there's no mast anymore. So I didn't really want to go down this route. My next thought was to buy the same part number, either from eBay or Hyundai directly, new and used. They're all pretty expensive. So this is an antenna for an SEL, has the 3 wires for AM, FM, and satellite. But I wasn't really comfortable paying this much money if my current antenna just had a broken plastic cover and was missing a mast. This seemed way too much for me. So I thought of some other options, and my next thought was to buy an antenna off of maybe a Kia or a Kona from a different year or trim level. And I found a lot of antenna like these. This was from a 2021 Kona, the 1.6 turbo. So it had the 4-wire setup, which meant it had GPS. But I figured I could do some experimenting. And if this worked, I was comfortable paying this price for an antenna like this. Now I did run into a couple of these off of eBay. This is an antenna for a base model Kona. It looks similar, but it only has AM, FM, and no satellite. So this wasn't going to work. I ordered an antenna from Kona. I think this was a maybe 2022 or 2021 higher trim. So it's not the traditional mast type antenna. This is the shark fin. So it's for the trim that does have GPS, even though this is an SEL that doesn't have the GPS. I figured I'd want to see if this one would fit, because this on eBay is like $80. If I were to get a used antenna with everything on it for the SEL, which has less technology in it, off of eBay, it would be about $280. I think it's just because they break more often, so they're not as common on there. So I figured I'd give this a shot. These are coaxial cables. So my idea was to remove this connector. The yellow one is the only wire that is not on this lower trim. This one still has satellite and AM FM. This has that plus GPS. So I'm assuming yellow is for GPS. So we're going to try it out and just exclude the yellow and see if that works. So my idea was to remove this connector. I already did it, but this is how I just took a little pry bar and pried this thing, and you can slide it out like that. And then each individual cable you pry up on those, it'll loosen it, and then they'll all come out. So I have the connector here off of this antenna, the original one. Originally I cut it, not really thinking that these were going to be coaxial cables. I thought I don't know what I was thinking. Probably could have just left it on there, but anyways, this unit, I wasn't going to use it anyways. So I'll try to remove this connector and retrofit it there. It looks like a similar mechanism. I found that you will have to peel this back, and then that will let you put a pry bar in those little tabs and pull the wires back out. There are the old wires removed. Here's a connector. They look almost identical, so hopefully we should be able to just slide it on there. Just the three in the same order. Snap right in and slide this bar down to lock it. So far I'm pretty optimistic about that working. So now this will be the real test. Just throw it on there, and there's a plug that goes on here, and that'll plug into the harness already on the car. So I'll see if that works. That'd be awesome if it does. A little bit of a color mismatch, I'd say, but did not want to pay $300 for an antenna when just the plastic cover was broken. Whatever this thing is, plugs in up here. There we go. Alright, let's try it out. Hopefully that yellow wire by itself won't do anything. Alright. Oh, this is preparing Sirius XM radio. That works. Let's try FM. Works great. HD radio still working. Go back to AM's working. Try Sirius XM. Maybe that's just a bad station. 18800. There we go. Well, there you have it. It works. When I did a test when I removed the broken antenna, and AM FM still worked, but it gives you a message for satellite radio. It says antenna disconnected. So even though this eBay antenna is not specific to this Kona, even this year, it seems like it works just fine. Now to tidy it up, what we will do is take our little nut, and it'll thread right onto the bottom of that blue part right there. So I'll have to disconnect those wires I just tested, but just like this one, thread on there, hold it, and then you'll connect the wires over it. And I will have to get the headliner all put back under this weather seal. I broke several of these little trim pieces, so I'll have to order some more. Kind of bent the headliner a little bit too, just messing around. So try to be careful with those if you do attempt this. If the antenna off of the newer Kona didn't work, my next plan was to 3D print some sort of cover and attach a mast to my broken antenna, but I didn't have to do that, so that works out great. Now, as I did my research online, I couldn't really find any detailed photos or diagrams of what these parts looked like up close, so I just record these shots for anyone who might want to do that on their own. This green antenna came off of the base Kona without satellite. I thought I might be able to take the plastic cover off of that and throw it back on mine, but it didn't work out because they had two different footprints, so this one was too small.